Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Friday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is August 2nd, 2018. And now, the news at noon. Reported by the Cortez Journal with a photo from the U.S. Forest Service, rumors of wolverines in Utah have swirled for decades, fed by occasional sightings in the state's most remote reaches, like the Uinta-Wasatch Cache National Forest. But the habitat of this reclusive animal, along with that of at least 100 other species, including dozens of native plants and amphibians, is threatened by the state's quest to weaken federal protections for some of Utah's most remote and undeveloped areas, according to a recent study from the Defenders of Wildlife. In March, Republican Governor Gary Herbert petitioned the U.S. Forest Service for a state exemption from the almost 2-decade-old roadless rule, which would weaken restrictions on logging and road building for more than 4 million acres of formerly protected Utah National Forest land. The report's results support a common conservation argument. Protected roadless areas disproportionately support high levels of biodiversity, including many at-risk species. These areas are uniquely undisturbed by humans, said Karen Beard, wildland resources professor with Utah State University. Once these areas get roads, even if they're temporary, the pristine nature of this area would be disturbed. The study found that roadless protections are crucial to sustaining the health and diversity of more than 100 at-risk species. The presence of roads with the logging and mining, many conservationists fear, would follow, threatens to reduce the biodiversity of Utah species while increasing habitat fragmentation, mortality rates, and sound pollution. From the Cortez Journal, New Mexico education officials have proposed requiring school districts to designate someone to administer and store students' medical cannabis, a rule some districts have protested. The Albuquerque Journal reported Wednesday that Albuquerque and Rio Rancho public schools have submitted comments against the state public education department rule set to go into effect next month. State law and the rule prevent students from self-administering medical cannabis at school. Matias Trujillo says his 14-year-old son, who is entering Rio Rancho High School, takes medical cannabis oil 3 times daily to treat a severe form of epilepsy. He says he needs a school employee to give his son the midday dose, or else his son could suffer seizures in school. The department says the rule isn't finalized and it's reviewing the feedback. Reported by the Cortez Journal, Durango is known for its outdoor lifestyle, but as the city looks to its future, video games could play a bigger role. It has been recommended the city consider adding e-gaming to its diverse list of offerings under the Parks and Recreation Department, said Kathy Metz, Director of Parks and Rec. Metz said her department tries to provide diverse programming, and e-gaming might appeal to a generation that spends a lot of time on screens or people who might not want to be outside. The scope of the program needs to be researched and discussed. The costs to implement e-gaming also remain unknown. The proposal is a small mention in a draft master plan that will help guide the Parks and Recreation Department for the next 5 to 10 years. The plan essentially serves as a roadmap for the department, and aspects of the plan are subject to change. Challenges associated with implementing virtual gaming on a department level include balancing it with the department's more active offerings. The city currently does not offer e-gaming as part of its Parks and Rec programming. For those who are less inclined to participate in outdoor activities, e-gaming provides an enticing alternative and a means to be included in group activities. The fast-emerging sport allows people with disabilities to be included. And now, let's take a look at the weather. For our DCTV 5-day forecast, we show Saturday continuing with this thunderstorm trend with a 20% chance of rain with a high of 87 and a low of 60. It's shaping up to be right about even with the rest of the upcoming week. Sunday comes up with predicted thunderstorms and a 50% chance of rain. The high will be around 82 and the low will be somewhere around 57. At the start of next work week, Monday has a slightly lower chance of rain at around 40%, but the thunderstorms will persist in our region. It will be a pretty standard day with a high of 83 and a low of 59. Tuesday, thunderstorms will bring a lower chance of rain at 20%. The high will be around 87, so slightly higher than Sunday and Monday, but the low will be around 59, which is pretty standard. Rounding out our forecast will be Wednesday with a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms. The high is showing at 86 and the low around 58. That's it for our 5-day forecast, and now back to the news. From the Cortez Journal, federal funding was approved Wednesday that will help Southwest Colorado residents save an average of 30% on insurance premiums purchased through the state healthcare exchange, a reinsurance program created by the Colorado legislature at the end of the session is expected to provide the savings to those purchasing insurance through Connect for Health Colorado. The exchange serves residents who do not have insurance through an employer or government program. In La Plata County, about 3,000 people purchased insurance for 2019 on the exchange set up by the Affordable Care Act. In Montezuma County, about 800 customers purchased insurance through the exchange. Customers of the reinsurance program are likely to see savings next year because the reinsurance program will lower the financial risk for the companies that offer plans on the exchange. The reinsurance program is expected to provide funding for insurance companies to cover high-cost insurance claims between $30,000 and $400,000, said Joe Hannell, a spokesman for Colorado Health Institute. According to the Cortez Journal, wilderness study areas have been a hot topic lately. Some politicians are trying to do away with them, while others are trying to protect them. But what exactly is a wilderness study area? The Wilderness Act was passed by Congress in 1964, creating the strictest form of protection for wild areas in the United States. But for years, the designation mostly applied to national forest lands managed by the U.S. Forest Service. It wasn't until the mid-1970s that Congress directed the Bureau of Land Management to survey the millions of acres the agency oversees to look for areas that would potentially qualify for a wilderness designation. The direction by Congress to the BLM was made formal in 1976 with the passing of the Federal Land Policy and Management Act. From 1976 to 1980, the BLM used 3 characteristics to make judgments about whether some public lands should qualify for wilderness. Those would be size, whether a place had more than 5,000 acres of roadless areas, its naturalness, not significantly affected by humans, and its opportunity for recreation. There was some leeway and discretion with these guidelines, but generally, if an area met all 3 criteria, it was considered for a wilderness designation, said Jeff Christensen, an outdoor recreation planner with the BLM's Tres Rios field office in Dolores. The units considered were designated wilderness study areas. From the Cortez Journal, Ute Mountain Ute educators are looking to open a charter school in Toyoak. The school would emphasize a different type of learning along with incorporating language and culture into its curriculum, said Tina King Washington, the K-12 education director for the Ute Mountain Ute tribe. They hope to open their doors in fall 2021. Currently, there is a Head Start preschool program on the reservation, but she wants a continuation of this. Last fall, she sought community support for a school, and supporters have since formed a school board. They want Ute students to know their culture and history. NACA is the Native American Community Academy, a public charter school in Albuquerque. They also hope to incorporate language into their curriculum, passing the Ute language down from elders to the younger generation. Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Friday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand. Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news in our area, and of course, please share it with a friend. For DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.